Now, first of all, in order to set goals, we're going to use your timeline. Now, we all have in our minds an imaginary concept of time, a linear type of concept, because that's how we know the difference between now and yesterday, 1 week ago, 1 year ago, 10 years ago, or tomorrow. That's how we know the difference between past and future. Somehow in our minds, we have this linear concept of time. And I'm going to share with you a slide now to see how we organize this time, because not all timelines look the same. You are all different, you are all individuals, and your imaginary concept of this timeline may be different. So there are several possibilities, and I'm going to share with you a slide right now. Give me a moment to click share here. Okay, there we go. Good. And this process I call creating your future, goal setting with a twist that makes it happen. I'll share with you in a moment. Okay, so your timeline, the idea of the linear organization of your time can happen in different ways. Some people will say, well, my past is to the left, my future is over there, pointing to the right. Some people may say, my future is in front of me, and my past is right behind me. Some people may say, oh, my future's kind of in a V shape like this to the left, and my past is in a V shape to the right. So how you do this is yours and yours alone. The question I'm going to ask you now, and here is the secret. As I ask you the question, you need to answer with that gut feeling, with that more of an intuition, if you wish, rather than a conscious, logical thing. If you were to know where your past is, what direction would you point? Now, the first thing that you were kind of like prone to do is it's over there, or it's over here, or it's over there, or it's over there. Because it could be left to right, front to back, up to down, or in some direction in relation to your body. So, I'm going to ask you again, if you were to know which direction is your past. And I'm not interested in your conscious, oh, my mother told me that, the past is always behind us. No. That was your mom's idea. Oh, my boss, we always do this and the past is over there. No, that's your boss's idea, or your partner, or whatever. Very quickly, which direction would you point? Point in a direction, that's all I'm asking you to do. This, point in a direction, and remember that direction. Have you done it? Okay, good. Don't tell me I don't know, because if you say I don't know, you're thinking of it consciously, and I'm not interested in your conscious concept. I'm interested in your unconscious. So again, if you've done it already, I'm going to repeat for those of you who haven't yet. If you were to know very quickly which direction would you point toward your past, and all you have to do is to point in a direction. Even if you don't know consciously which direction you got feeling say to you, it should be that way, or that way, or that way, or somewhere. Good. Now, your future, in which direction would you point if you were to point to know where your future is? Now point to that direction. This is all a mental concept, my friends. This is all active imagination. It's not real, it's in your mind. It's all in your mind. So which direction would your future be? Now I hope that you all got 2 points in which to refer to as the past and the future. And now notice that the 2 points imply a line, a linear organization of time. This is all symbol, this is all a mind game, my friends. However, it works. So however you do it, it's good. We are all different. So I hope now you got the idea of a direction you pointed in for your past, and a direction you pointed toward your future. And notice that the 2 imply a line. And as you imagine this line, notice that you're, where you are right now, you're smack down into a point called now. Is it? You're in the now. Now you can think about your future, you can think about your past, but you're in the now. So that's the first thing. To have an idea of a timeline, to have an idea of a past and a future, linear organization of your memories, and to notice that the two points imply this line. So far, so good? Let's put that aside for a moment. File that somewhere in a folder in your mind, and let's put that aside for a moment. This is very important to discover. It's a key point element in creating and inserting in your timeline goals for the future that makes the process makes them happen. One of the key elements. Good. Now let's talk a little bit about SMART goals. I hope you already know what you want. You have an idea, okay, I want this. Pick just one goal. And as I said, you may have used before the acronym SMART. It's not new, it's not particular to timeline therapy. We utilize it in timeline therapy as well, in the creating your future process. But let's talk about this. So SMART, as we look at the letter S stands for specific and simple. So your goals must be specific. If you are the type of big picture person, no, you gotta be specific for this. What specifically do you want? I wanna be happy. It's not specific. I want more money. That's not specific. How much more? By when? And simple. The goals have to be simple. See, at the conscious level, this level where we talk rationally, logically, and we discuss with each other concepts and ideas, things can be more convoluted. But let me give you a metaphor, a little story, as I love to refer to in my trainings. At the subconscious or unconscious level, this part of you that we call the unconscious mind, it's not something separate from you. It's just the intelligence of your body. So the unconscious mind is a very simple, delightfully simple being. Here's a metaphor for you. Imagine you have a 6-year-old brother or sister, very intelligent. That's a kid, it's a child, it's a 6-year-old. And as a 6-year-old, how are you gonna talk to this child? Are you gonna say something very convoluted in a language that's very precious and metaphorical? No, they're going to be simple, direct, and specific. So your goals have to be simple and specific, simply formulated, and we'll get there. We're not there yet. Yeah, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you an example, a formula. Now, goals also work the best if they are measurable and meaningful to you. Let's talk about measurable. I already hinted at it one moment ago. Let's say you want to set a goal to get in shape, better in shape. So go to the gym and get better in shape. What does it mean, better in shape? Go to the gym how many times a week? Measurable. I want to have more money. How much more? How much more? 10 cents more? It's more money. $1 more? It's more money. But how much more? So measurable means it has to be a unit, a way, a specific number, again, specific way of measuring it. Now I weigh X pounds or kilograms, and my goal is to measure, to weigh this much pounds or kilograms, depending on which part of the world you are, yeah? So that's another very, very important concept. Not only a concept, but condition. Then the goals meaningful to you, I already hinted at this, and I said that goals need to be important and meaningful to you, not to somebody else. So set goals that you want, that have meaning to you, that you want for you and out of your own motivation and your own accord. I want to want something because they said it's good for me. It's not the same as I want something because I want it. I hope you get the difference. Now, the next one is the letter A. As if now. No. Let's. It's written achievable in all areas of your life. We're going to take it one by one. So as if now. The issue of time is very important. Goals set in future tense have less chance of being achievable compared to goals set in present tense. And I'm talking about the verb tense. So I will do this, or I will be that, or I will have that, it's a future tense. Not well formed. It is now this date, and I now weigh X pounds, or I now am worth X, and then you give the amount, or I now have the position of in a business, or I now have developed my business to X amount, growth, profit, etc. I hope you understand the difference. In a moment, I'm going to give you the formula. Achievable means that you can do it, or at least means that somebody else has done it. If you want to set the goals that by next month you will be flying to Mars, I don't know if that's achievable. Unless you work somewhere in a project with special rockets and flights, and Elon Musk sends a manned probe to Mars and you're part of them, I don't think that's achievable for you. So think what's really achievable for you. See, it's a big difference between wanting something and wanting something that's achievable. Well, I want to go visit Mars. Well, is that achievable? I want to know how to do brain surgery. Well, is it achievable for me? No. I mean, probably I could do it, but it will require at least 10 years of study. I'll have to go through the medicine school. I have to do internship. I have to put a lot of effort. Now, brain surgery has been done. Flying to Mars, a manned probe to Mars, as far as we know, has not been done before. I hope you understand the difference. My examples may not be the perfect examples for you, but whatever, the point I'm making here is that whatever goals you set have to be achievable. I want to be multimillionaire by next month. Now, if you're already starting and being millionaire, that's fine. But if you start from not having a job and being on a fixed salary, or being on a fixed salary, being multimillionaire by next month just because you want it, may not be achievable. And this achievable goal goes hand in hand, we'll see in a moment, with realistic, and that's the letter R. So achievable and realistic are two very important conditions that you need to decide. Don't ask somebody else. You need to decide, can I do it? Now, it's written there also back to letter A, all areas of your life. Now, in order to have a balanced life, it's best if you have goals in all areas. Now, what are the major areas of life? I'm talking about just the major areas of life. So we have career, we have family, we have relationships. What else? Do we have personal growth? We have development, we have health and fitness, spirituality. So in order to have balance in our lives, how many people complain nowadays? And you know it, how many people complain that my life's out of balance? Everybody's searching for some balance. One of the typical examples is time and work. If I work really hard, I won't have time with my family. If I spend more time with my family, I don't make it that much money. That's very common. So if you want to have a balanced life, you want to have goals in all areas of life. Now, all areas of life must be attended to. Not equally, though, because a day has only 24 hours. You sleep for 7, 8. If you have a good night's sleep, you have to eat. So, and then you work for 8 hours, at least. If you own your own business, you know you work far more than 8 hours. But all areas of life have to be attended to. So even if it's 10 minutes or something, for instance, let's say in spirituality, and people nowadays, many people practice mindfulness or meditation, right? So a 10-15 minute meditation means that area of life is attended to. So set goals once you learn the process, set goals in all areas of life, and then you have a balanced life. We talked about realistic, the letter R is next. And also responsible and ecological. You want to set goals that are responsible to whom, to what, and ecological to whom, to what. First of all, that are good for you, but also that they are good for those around you, your family, your close group of friends, your work family, your community, your area, geographical area where you are, and finally the whole planet. We don't want to set goals that are in any form having negative consequences on other people around us. And in NLP, the word ecological simply refers to what are the consequences of me achieving or setting this goal or that goal or the other. So we want to have positive. So spend some time and think, if I achieve this goal that you were thinking of, would have positive consequences. First of all, on me, but secondly, the close people around me, people I love, in my family, in my close group of friends, in my working friends or working colleagues, working environment, community, and so on and so forth. And finally, one key element that's not usually paid sufficient attention to in traditional goal setting is the issue of time, which works hand in hand with the first A acronym, as if now. So let's think about this together. Remember I said that goals that are put in future tense, I will do this, don't work just as good as the goals set in present tense. So timed means you put a time, date, a date by which you want your goal to happen. Now be realistic and ask yourself, can I achieve it in this period of time? As I said, you may want to be multimillionaire by next week, but is that realistic? Is that achievable? If it is, more power to you. If it's not, I'm not saying it's not possible, but your time frame must be realistic and achievable. Now I said I will give you the formula. Here is how I set goals always, and this is how I teach also in the trainings. So I'm going to dictate, yeah? It is now, and then you draw a blank. It is now, and then the blank is your date by which you want your goal to happen. It is now August 15, 2025. Put always the year there, yeah? Because if you don't put the year, it might happen on August 15, but next month, next year, or 2 years from now. So let's say it is now August 15, 2025. And I have now, and then you have here three possibilities, because your goals either have to do with being, I am now, if it's a career, and name the career, position. Or if it's something you want to have, and now I have this amount of money in my bank account, in my investments, in my whatever, or I have now fulfilled or signed the lease for, or bought the property, etc. So I am, I have, and also I do. I do go to the gym 3 times a week. I have now lost, I am now X amount of pounds or kilograms. I weigh now this amount, this number. So again, the formula, it is now, and you put the date in, and I now, either, and then you have the 3 possibilities. Either I do, or I am, or I have. Then you fill in the blanks. Simple and specific. Your goals must be timed. If they are not timed, they are running somewhere in your future timeline, and they might happen, but who knows when. And I say they might. And finally, it's written there, at least at letter T, the last one at letter T, toward what you want. There are 2 ways of thinking, my friends. One is toward what you want. The other one is away from what you don't want. I don't want ABCD anymore. That's moving away from. Goals always and without exception work much better if they're formulated toward what you want. I'm going to say this again. Goals always work much better if they are formulated toward what you want. Another example. It is now, put in the date, but then you forget this and you say, and I don't eat any more cakes. I don't know. I just made this one up. Okay? That's away from. It is now, put in the date, and now I eat healthy fruits and healthy foods. Specifically, you name them. That's toward what you want. So careful. That's why when you set goals, it's always highly recommended that you write them down. So you polish the language and the words you're using. Keep it simple, specific, measurable, meaningful to you, as if now and well-timed, achievable and realistic, responsible and ecological, and toward what you want. So these are the SMART conditions, SMART acronym, as we look at it in the Creating Your Future process. So far, so good? All right. Good. Now, now let's go through the process itself. We set up all the conditions so far. How we think about goals, how do we formulate the goals. So the first step is to make sure the goal is SMART. We've done this. Now, here is a key element that makes the difference between traditional goal setting and how we do it inside the timeline therapy, the Creating Your Future process. Get the last step. And the question to ask yourself is, what is the last thing that has to happen so I know I got my goal or my objective? And this is not the same for everybody. You have your own way. Now, you say, oh, so-and-so says to me these words, or I see my bank statement this way, or I have now the house, the apartment, the place that I wanted to buy. I closed and I see it. And even that, it's not, I now have signed the document. I now have got the promotion. And specifically, not only that I've got the promotion, how do I know that I got the promotion? The person I interview with calls me and says the following words. Or I am going to my first day of work in the new position that I achieved. It's very different. Some people say, I know that I got my goals when I talk to my partner in life and they say, very well, congratulations. I know that I lost the weight and I am the weight that I want to be when I see the scales with the number that I want. I know that I achieved my goal. So the question to ask yourself, you get the idea. So ask yourself this question now, what is the last thing for you that has to happen so you know you got it? You would not believe this, but there are people who get their goals and never know that they did until somebody else says to them, but you achieved this. And they go, oh yeah, actually I did. I didn't even realize. Funny, huh? But that's how it works for some people. So what is the last thing that has to happen for you? You either have in your mind, you may have a picture, or you may hear somebody say something to you and you have a feeling. It must be a positive feeling, isn't it? Because when you achieve your goal, you have a positive feeling. It's success, it's accomplishment. Sometimes, it depends on the goal, so you may have certain smells or certain tastes associated with that last thing that has to happen. So you know you got your goal. And of course, many people, not most, but many people also say positive stuff to themselves. Oh yeah, I got it, or anything, could be anything. So what is the last thing that has to happen so you know you got your goals? Your goal, one, because we work at one at a time. Got that? Good. Now, see, the last step, here you are, and your goal's over there, as you see on the slide. The last step happens just before you have actually accomplished your goal. Just before you accomplished your goal. And that's the one you need to have. You need to have that because, I stop sharing now, yeah? You need to have that. See, in other traditional goal setting, and I'm not bashing those, they're good. But the last step we're gonna use as a picture in our minds to insert in the future timeline. That's the one that's meaningful. That's the one that goes in the future memories inserted in your future timeline. I hope this makes sense. Anything else is beautiful visualization, imagination, hallucination, you call it however you want. But the last step picture is extremely important. All right? Now, once you have that, now we can proceed with inserting this in your timeline.